Hi, this is Brian Forrester, and today we are exploring some locations located just south of Cusco, Peru. And these are locations that we visit on a one-day basis during our three major tours in June, August, and November. This location is called the Inti Punku, or the Sun Gate, and we're going to explore it in detail. What you're going to see are two distinct forms of construction: Inca and megalithic pre-Inca. It has largely been reconstructed quite recently, and so kudos to the Ministry of Culture of Peru for taking care of its heritage, which they do at literally hundreds of locations all around Cusco. So now we're going to walk up and look at this construction in detail. The smaller stonework is Inca, and the megalithic work you're going to see is pre-Inca. So it's another example of an ancient site that the Inca discovered approximately 1,000 years ago. You see the Inca on the right side and the megalithic on the outside, or left side, sorry. So this is what the Inca found, and this actually probably led them to the ancient city of Cusco, which they found as a megalithic city, destroyed, and then reconstructed. But it's best with quadcopter footage, of course, to be able to see some of the detail. So you can clearly see in the middle of the video the megalithic, and on the right-hand side, and then the later Inca work built on top and around. So here again is the Inca construction, and here is the older megalithic. The stone is basalt. The quarry is about 1 mile away. And then here in detail you see the incredible precision of the megalithic work. And then here, once again, the difference between the Inca on the right and the megalithic there. You can see the Inca did some reconstruction on top. And this gives you some more detail of the precision work that was done by the ancient pre-Inca people. And once again, the difference between the Inca on top and the megalithic below. And finally, once again, the megalithic there, and the Inca there. So this is our last little clip of the Inti Punku, of course using a quadcopter. And what you can't see from the ground, but you can see from the air, is the fact that there is a water channel that was constructed by the Inca on top. Very ingenious. Next, we're visiting a little museum in the small town of Andahuaylas, run by Senor Renato, who's an anthropologist. And here we have the enigmatic Waiki skeleton. DNA testing have shown that Waiki's mother was an Andean native person, but who in God's name was the father? And now we're at the Wado Museum, which is located about 10 minutes away, and we see ancient examples of plumbing. This stone, again, is basalt. The circular area you see there is perfectly round, more or less. So this is an example of lost ancient high technology. The question is, who made it and when? And in the same museum, we have these strange glyphs that no one has been able to decipher. There are hundreds of these that have been found in the area, and the plumbing that I showed previously as well. There are many, many examples of them. So again, more mysteries located in the highlands of Peru, just outside of Cusco. And now we're at Tipong. And Tipong is an excellent example of the genius of Inca water movement and engineering. Just look at the sheer scale of this site. Thanks to the quadcopter, of course. Terraforming to the maximum. This is an incredible location. And look at the flow of this water. It's almost, or maybe is technically perfect, the way that it cascades down and then is carried away to agriculture in the lower valleys. Among the many accomplishments of the Inca were their incredible expertise at terraforming, water movement, and agriculture. And Tipong has been reconstructed again in recent times. It was abandoned when the Spanish arrived in the 16th century, and another great example of how the Ministry of Culture of Peru takes care of its ancient heritage. Now, I would say about 99% of Tipong is Inca construction, but we do see some examples of possible megalithic work here, and that's typical of a lot of the Inca sites. Is the Inca discovered a megalithic work, they were awestruck by it, and then they constructed a ceremonial or more pragmatic function at these ancient locations. So here at the central fountain is where we may see some example of the megalithic or high precision work that possibly they discovered here. Either that, or the Inca were capable of doing some very precise work. So here you see one main channel comes in, and then symbolically it splits into two, and then returns into one, and then splits into four. This is not a random thing, it's highly symbolic. One representing unity, two representing masculine, feminine, positive, negative, and four quite possibly representing the four districts of the Inca world, or maybe earth, air, fire, and water. So you see how the flow of the water is absolutely immaculate. Once again, the Inca were incredible experts at water movement, irrigation, and agriculture. That's what made them such a successful civilization. And finally, this shows you the sheer scale of Tipong. It's actually larger than this. It goes off in the background to the left-hand side, and I've heard that there are megalithic constructions back there, which I have yet to explore. So once again, we visit these in June, August, and November of every year.